may proceed, Mr. Peterson. Yes.
Can you please state your name for the record?
My name is Corey Hyde.
What is your current occupation?
I work as Avery Bancroft's executive assistant at the Black Bear Casino.
So what do you do as the executive assistant at the casino?
I help Avery Bancroft out on the business, and I also take care of personal items for Mr. Bancroft.
When did you first hear about the new gambling license?
I first heard about it in early 2015. I actually helped prepare the proposal at the start of it, and it was at that time that I had met someone by the name of Mickey Keenan as well.
Who is Mickey Keenan?
Well, Mickey Keenan told me that he was an auditor at the Midlands Gambling Commission, but that turned out to be a lie.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I didn't find out until later when we had our meeting, but there was a phone call between the two of us on March 1st, and we were going to meet on March 2nd to discuss the proposal.
And what happened when you two met?
Well, we started talking about the proposal at first, and then he started talking about gambling violations, and Avery Bancroft hadn't done anything wrong as far as I know, but I knew that he was serious when he put a Midland State Police Department badge on the table.
And what did Mr. Keenan want you to do?
Mr. Keenan wanted me to work as his informant and set up meetings between Keenan and Bancroft to try to catch Bancroft driving Chase Covington.
When was the first meeting that you set up?
The first meeting was March 31st.
And did Mr. Keenan have any special instructions for you at that meeting?
Yes, Mr. Keenan sent me an email with special instructions for that meeting.
Would you recognize that email if I were to show it to you?
Yes, I would.
Permission to approach the bench and retrieve evidence?
Sure. Which one?
The email from, should be one of those blue or black ones.
This one?
Yes, it is. Approaching the witness. What have I just handed you?
This is a copy of that email that we just talked about.
And could you read the second sentence of the second paragraph for me?
At some point, you might want to suggest that Avery should do something to sweeten the pot. It is very important that this comes from you and not me.
And when that meeting came around, did you end up saying that to your boss?
I mentioned something about sweetening the pot, yes.
And what was Mr. Bancroft's response?
Mr. Bancroft just mentioned something about adding additional conference space.
And did Mr. Keenan say anything after that?
Mr. Keenan said that Avery Bancroft needed to pitch more than ideas.
And what did Mr. Bancroft say to that?
Well, Mr. Bancroft said that, well, I've never done anything like that, and started wringing his hands, and he looked really nervous. I haven't seen him like that
Objection,
before.
Your Honor, to Avery Bancroft's statements hearsay.
Your Honor, although this is hearsay, this is an exception to the rules of hearsay under Rule 803.2. I believe the proper foundation for an excited utterance has been laid that Avery Bancroft, after hearing that initial statement, and before his response, started wringing his hands and fidgeting and experiencing all of the proper criteria to have a stressor in this case.
Excited utterance is your exception?
Yes.
You said 803.2?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers, do you have a response to excited utterance?
Your Honor, yes, I do. I don't believe this is an excited utterance because it's not a startling event or condition. Just because he's nervous, maybe for several different reasons, doesn't make that a startling condition. Therefore, it's not an exception.
I would agree that it's not an extremely startling condition. While he may be fidgety, that doesn't necessarily make this an excited utterance. Do you have anything else to offer, Mr. Peterson? We're referring to Mr. Bancroft who made the statement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anything else, Mr. Peterson?
It's
It's okay if you don't.
No, Your Honor, not at
Okay,
this time.
we're going to sustain the objection then.
Yes.
May
May
that part of the testimony be stricken from the record?
Yes.
Thank
May.
I approaching the witness and tendering evidence to the bench. What happened after that meeting on March 31st?
Well, it was after that that I really started having doubts about working along with Mickey Keenan. So, I mean, I didn't want to set my boss up, but, so I called Mickey Keenan to talk about it.
And what did Mr. Keenan tell you?
He said that backing out now would be the worst decision of your life.
Objection, Your Honor, to hearsay once again.
Your Honor, I'm not using this for the truth of the matter asserted, rather for the effect on the listener, Corey Hyde, and if I may make an offer of proof,
You may.
that Corey Hyde continues to keep working even though he feels he may have been setting up his own boss because of this statement by Mickey Keenan.
Response?
Your Honor, if that is so, then I would like to re-object if it is not the case
Sure.
later on in this testimony.
Absolutely, you may do so.
Yes, sir.
So after that conversation, you kept working for Mr. Keenan.
I only did what I was told. I didn't do anything more than that.
So when was the next meeting that you set up?
The next meeting was supposed to take place on April 13th. That meeting was supposed to be between Mickey Keenan, me, and Chase Covington and Avery Bancroft.
And what was initially discussed at this meeting?
Well, Avery Bancroft tried to give a variation of the same pitch that he tried to give at the previous meeting, but Chase Covington didn't really seem that interested, and Mickey Keenan was just glaring at Avery Bancroft at this time, and Avery Bancroft finally spoke up and said, "I think Mickey here wants to know what I can do for you."
And did Mr. Keenan say anything after that statement?
He said that you need to pitch more than ideas.
And did Mr. Bancroft do anything after that?
I'm not entirely sure if he did or didn't. I was a little distracted at the time, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. So were there any other meetings after that April 13th meeting?
There was supposed to be another meeting on April 16th, the day of the vote.
And who was supposed to be in attendance at this meeting?
The same people as the ones at the previous meeting.
And did everyone show up to that meeting?
No, the only people who showed up, well, Chase Covington didn't show up, and everyone else was just waiting around for her.
And what happened after Miss Covington didn't show up?
Mickey Keenan got up to go to the bathroom, and it was at that time that Avery Bancroft said, "I'm done. I'm sick and tired of being Keenan's pawn," and stormed out.
Objection, Your Honor, to hearsay.
Your Honor, this may be hearsay, but as an exception to the rules of hearsay under Rule 8033, the then existing mental, emotional, or physical condition of the declarant. In this case, we were talking about the mental condition of Avery Bancroft, and that he is sick of being Keenan's pawn. This goes to his motives, and that he is tired of being working for Keenan and his plan.
Your Honor, this doesn't go towards a plan. He just stated that he was sick of being Keenan's pawn. Now that could mean a bunch of different things, and I don't think it means a plan. There's no documentation or anything of that sort. Just that he stated he's sick of being Keenan's pawn. And then it's not an exception to the hearsay rule.
Yeah. Mr. Peterson, I would agree with that. You know, it's not like he's saying that he's tired or, you know, he's hungry or, you know, something like that. He's sick, but it doesn't mean sick in the
Not a
medical condition. Yeah, the physical condition or mental condition. Do you have any additional information to offer for that exception or an additional
I would
exception?
say that Rule 8033 includes plans, motives, and intent, and that saying he is sick of being Keenan's pawn implies that they had been working together in a plan and that he refuses to further participate in this plan. And a lack of doing so is also considered in the intent, or lack of intent.
Lack of intent is not involved in that. You have to show a plan, motive, or intent. which this statement shows none of. Just that he's sick of being Keenan's pawn, so this does not apply.
Mr. Peterson, can we continue to lay some more groundwork for this plan, that we know exactly what Mr. Bancroft was really sick and tired of being Mr. Keenan's pawn in regards to, or is that where we're at right now, and there's not going to be any additional information to further it?
The intent is that he had been working, he said that has been Keenan's pawn, and that he is no longer, that the intent is that he will no longer be Keenan's pawn. He's sick of being Keenan's pawn, so he will no longer go along with it.
I understand. Maybe we can, we're going to sustain the objection as it is, but I would suggest rephrasing the question and potentially, trying to allow your witness to explain the situation a little bit more.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can that line of testimony be stricken from the record?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
So after Officer Keenan left and after Officer Bancroft, or Avery Bancroft left, did Officer Keenan ever come back?
Yes, when Officer Keenan came back, he was really angry. He didn't know that Bancroft left, and he started yelling at me.
Objection, Your Honor, to speculation as to Bancroft, Mickey Keenan knowing that Mr. Bancroft left. It's going into his mindset.
I don't think it's going to his mindset. I mean, he can physically see if he left or not.
Okay.
I don't think he said anything specifically about what Mickey Keenan thought. At least I didn't hear it. So I'm going to overrule the objection.
Yes, sir.
You may continue.
Mickey Keenan saw that Avery Bancroft left and said that if you don't find him, and I mean now, I'm going to make sure you go to jail.
So what did you do, Mr. Hyde?
I was so exhausted of dealing with the entire situation. I had so many hopes for my proposal, so it was at that time that I just left the casino.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson.